Hello everyone, this is Darker Joe, and today I'm gonna do something different. So we just got the preview for Kane and ML Yufine. Normally I don't do like reactions to the previews and stuff, but I'm gonna actually do that this time because I love Yufine. So we'll first go through Kane first, though. And I had not seen it yet because I just woke up. I just saw these previews.
I'm Kane. Now, I'll make you wish you never met me.
All right,
the weak are nothing but prey!
That's cool, Bill.
Did you really think you could beat me?
Kane is the last vampire lord of Eurasia. Born as the illegitimate
I'll watch this on my own.
back streets and alleyways.
I just want to see the stats and stuff.
He was raised by violence and destruction, by betrayal in life. So he had been oblivious to his true
He's not
identity.
really that much of a bruiser. I mean,
It wasn't until a life-threatening encounter with the vampire slayers that he experienced as the last vampire. Then he began his conquest to take control of the continent.
All right.
Kane is a 5-star fire.
So 1359 attack, 105. Okay, so this is the same stat line as. No, this is not Rem. Who has this stat line? Is this a new stat line? Oh, no. I was Sirmia? No, might be Sirmia. I don't remember. This might be a whole new one actually. I know. No, it's not Rem because Rem has like 6,000 health. I know Sirmia has roughly the same amount. I know Sirmia has about this much bulk and stuff. But I don't remember Sirmia had 1359 attack. So this might not be Sirmia's, but we'll
Elemental warrior. He has high attack and can increase his attack further through his imprint concentration.
All right.
Skill 2.
So at the start of the first battle, gains 50 fighting spirit. Okay. Upon receiving lethal damage, grants immortality and vampirism for 1 turn, and resets cooldown of Feast of Predation. It can only be activated once every 9 turns. After an ally attacks, if the target is afflicted with bleed, gains 10 fighting spirit. After an ally attacks, the target is afflicted with bleed, gains 10 fighting spirit. After an ally attacks, when fighting spirit is full, consumes all fighting spirit to make the caster enraged. Wait, if the target is afflicted with bleed, so do you give everyone on your team bleed abilities or something? Wait, no. If you give everyone on your team bleed, or are you supposed to use him with units that bleed? Because that's very specific debuff to have. After an ally attack, if the target is inflicted with bleed, gain 10 fighting spirit. So basically, he had he still has a 50 fighting spirit, and when he's like K around where when he basically dies, he gets immortality and vampirism. It does no, Epico doesn't give bleed though, so yeah. I know haste does, so maybe you're supposed to use him with haste, but like, hey, a little bit bleeds. No. After an ally attacks and the fighting spirit is full, consumes all fighting spirit to make the caster enraged.
Force Awakening. At the start of the first battle, gains 50 fighting spirit. And resets turn, consumes all fighting spirit to make the caster enraged for 2 turns. Skill 3.
Attacks the enemy by unleashing their power, and grants increased greater attack to the caster for 2 turns. The damage dealt increases proportional to the number of debuffs inflicted on the target. So his S3 basically is a built-in of his own artifact. Skill cooldown is decreased by 2 turns, so it'll be a 2-turn cooldown when you it'll be 2-turn cooldown if you soul burn it. Huh.
3. Feast of Predation. Attacks the enemy by unleashing their power, and grants increased attack greater to the caster for 2 turns. Damage dealt increases proportional to the number of debuffs inflicted on the target. Skill 1. Hammer.
Attacks the enemy with a hammer and inflicts bleeding for 2 turns. Okay. When the caster is enraged, ignores effect. That's funny. I mean, it's not like a big thing to have the effect resistance on bleed, but still. And when the caster, and when it is the caster's turn, activates Rock Smash as an extra attack. Attacks all enemies by smashing the ground and dispels one debuff from the caster. So you have to be enraged to have Rock Smash, I'm assuming, because it does have a comma in there, so that means...
Hammer time. Attacks the enemy with a hammer, and inflicts bleeding for 2 turns. When the caster is enraged, ignores effect resistance. It's Rock Smash as an extra attack. Rock Smash attacks all enemies by slamming the ground, and dispels 1 debuff from the caster.
We already saw the artifact.
Kane's artifact, Tyrant's Descent.
Alright.
A notorious family treasure of the Drake family, infamous for ending battles in bloodshed
I'll
and terror.
probably watch this.
It had been missing for a
On my
long
own time.
until the most recent successor
now-
emerged and started a war.
Honest opinion on him? I mean, they're showcasing him in Rift, so he's probably gonna be like good in Rift, obviously. But like, maybe that's what he's made for Rift and other potential other PvE stuff. But like, he's gonna be really weird. I don't think he's gonna work in RTA. The thing is, like, so his stat line makes it look like you want to make him as a bruiser, and like you may want to make him as a bruiser, but it's like he's kind of like K-Run, where you don't know if you want to build him bulk though to do it. I don't know, it's weird. He's got really good attack. He's got, like, you could make him bulky, but I guess you could always make him bulky and then make him as bruiser. Then, you know, hey, when you're about to die, you get at least an extra turn to survive. So I guess you could do that. Kind of like how no one ever made a bulky Charon though. Like in Charon was the thief, so it's much harder to pull that off. And it looks like he has lifesteal, or people were just using Sigurd Scythe on him because he was healing. Was he healing in any of his? Oh yeah, vampirism. Yeah, he has vampirism. Not really necessarily healing, but yeah. The target is afflicted with bleed, gain 10 fighting spirit. So basically the way it is like, it's kind of like the same situation with Green Yufine, where if the enemy is like already silent and you attack the enemy that's already silenced, it pushes her up. It's kind of like that with this though. So if you do have a unit that can apply bleed for you, and then every time anyone attacks that bleeded target, it'll give him that 10 fighting spirit. It's not like you have to like bleed every single time. So, and he does give bleed on his S1, but if there was another unit or two that actually was viable that had bleed in it, then that'd be good. I guess, like in this case, obviously you're talking about Rift. You can use him with haste, and that's probably what they're going for. That's probably what it is here. I'm guessing, right? Do they have fire haste in here? Yeah, fire haste. Yeah. As far as RTA goes, it's too situational for him to pull off. Unless there's more viable units that apply bleed. Because I'm trying to remember all the units that give bleed. Like, I mean, I guess T-Cern does. I think T-Cern does, right? That's an option. Or Tim Cern. Haste is definitely not viable in any way into RTA. Lilibet's not really either. I pull her out sometimes. Like other people who apply bleed, I think Mui still applies bleed, but kind of hard to pull her out too. Yeah, I don't think there's any like really viable unit that bleeds people right now in RTA. Arunka kind of, but like she's just niche. That half the times you don't even get a chance to use your S1 if you're playing it right. So like as far as RTA goes, I think you need more units that apply bleed that's viable. I mean, you could use Fire Haste. Fire Haste is actually like, its skill kit's not terrible in RTA. It's just that he's just outclassed by Rand. So, but I mean, at the same time, you pick him and Haste in the same team, you're just gonna go half your team's fire units. It's so easy to get countered with like Rem or Arya, Karina, Shu. There's just a lot of ways that screw over full fire teams like that, or half your team's fire units. So I do not know if this would be a good RTA unit, but as far as PvE stuff and Rift, it's probably great. Now time for the one I actually really wanted to see.
There's another side to me. And when she comes out, not even I know how to stop her.
Oh my god, I love you.
I hate the darkness.
Whoa.
Because it hides your suffering. You like it when I hurt you?
Abyssal Yufine is a pure-blooded dragon of the winds. Despite their long-lasting war with the Karun dragons, the Wind Dragons had been holding on to hope and solidarity. But one day, they learned that the Karuns had been completely annihilated. Out of fear of facing the same mysterious fate, the Winds began experimenting with dark magic stones they had obtained from the Karun.
Okay, let's see that line. Alright, so you are an HP... Wait, are you a defense scaler or an HP scaler? That's a lot of defense. So you do have crit, so you are definitely a crit unit. 106 speed, which is, not terrible. You are a knight, though. But, wait, that's definitely no one has that stat line. But 713 defense, that's crazy. I think that makes her, like, one of the highest defensive knights in the... No, isn't, like, one of the Armins, like, almost 800 base defense? I know, technically... If we're counting everything, I know Carmen Rose, Azilak Carmen Rose has potentially the highest defense of base defense in the game, because it's like, I think when you count everything, it's like for Carmen Rose it's like 800 something base defense when you count specialty change and imprints and stuff. But yeah, this is still a really high defense, not bad HP. I think it's. Yeah, okay, so I like the stats. 23 crit rate. It looks I'm assuming it's probably health as the imprint, self-imprint.
Yufine became the subject of a series of brutal experiments that have left her traumatized.
Damn.
She's lost all her friends and family. Now, she's beginning to lose even herself.
She's a hug.
Abyssal Yufine.
Okay, so it's defense. So she is a defense scaling unit. Okay. Yeah. I like the stat line.
Yufine is a 5-star Dark Elemental Knight. She has high defense and can increase her defense further through her imprint concentration.
Alright, let's see.
Skill 2.
So skill 2, when the enemy is not an elite boss monster. Okay, so good. So it's basically an RTA unit. Reduces the effect of combat readiness increases granted to the enemy by 30%. Wait, it goes up to 50? Yeah, 50%. So reduces the effect of combat readiness increases granted by the enemy by 50%. Okay. So it basically has a built-in Politis ability with the whole cuts it in half. This effect does not stack with other passes of the same name. Wait, does this work with Politis then? Could you is it like you use Politis and her at the same time? It like does it, since they're both 50%, I believe, does that mean they just counteract each other, or does it like, I don't know, or does it like you cut them by 50%, then you cut them again by 50%? So anyone who has like say the 30% zero push, does that mean just having her takes it down to 15, and then you have Politis, would that cut it down to 7.5? That'd be kind of crazy. This effect is not. I know it says not stacked by other people with the same name, but I don't think Politis is just called Inner Abyss, so. When attacked, gains 20 fighting spirit and has a 30% chance to counterattack. Okay, so she has built-in counterattack. When attacked, so you could still put on Outburst. At the start of the turn, when fighting spirit is full, dispels all debuffs from the caster. Okay.
Inner Abyss. When the enemy is not an elite or boss monster, reduces the effect of combat readiness increases granted to the enemy by up to 50%. This effect does not stack with other passive effects of the same name. When attacked, gains 20 fighting spirit and has a 30% chance to counterattack. At the start of the turn, when fighting spirit is full, dispels all debuffs from the caster. When used in conjunction with Politis' passive, The combat readiness reduction can reach up to 100%.
Holy crap. Okay.
Skill 3.
So you, with Herd Politis, you just completely cut all their CR push. So everyone basically becomes, well, I wouldn't say Rowana, because they still get their speed. But. Alright. Inflicts trauma on the caster for 3 turns before attacking all enemies, dispelling all buffs, and decreasing combat readiness by 50%. Ignores effect resistance. Why is everything in this game freaking ignore effect resistance? Smilegate, you need to like buff effect resistance. What is the point of effect resistance at this point? Every single unit in this game comes out with ignore effect resistance Soulbird or built into the kit. They need to. Oh, what is the point of me having Soul Reavers with 300 ER? I'm just gonna get ignored. Like, really? At this point, Smilegate literally hates effect resistance. They're even taking it away in buffs. So they took it away on ML Ken. They're like, oh, it's taking the 30% free ER he gets. Why? Because because apparently Smilegate hates effect resistance as a stat. Dispelling all buffs, decreasing combat readiness by 50%. Don't effect resistance. Okay. Wait, on the caster, decreases defense by 70%. Wait, decreasing your self defense, but increasing attack and speed by 100%. If the defense prior to the effect of trauma is 2,000 or higher, the stat increases. Wait. Well, hold up. Wait. So you need 100. You need 100 fighting spirit to do this, but it has a cooldown. You give yourself trauma for 3 turns. You cut your defense by 70%. When attacking increases, but you double your attack and speed basically. If the defense prior to the effect of trauma is so if your defense is at 2,000 or higher, you triple. So basically, instead of being double, you triple. Does that mean? Okay, wait. So, if you go in with ML Yufine, and let's say you have like 2,100 defense, and your HP, well not HP, what your HP is, whatever. You go in with 2,100 defense, and you're like, wait, you're definitely attack scaling then, right? That's why you're increasing attack. So let's say your attack is 2,500, because I remember she had really low base attack. So let's say 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense. You use this ability. Does that mean you tripled your attack? And let's say your speed is at like 200. Does that mean your speed basically becomes? Wait. No, it's not. Does that mean you get like 600 speed then if you had 200 speed and you use this at over 2,000 defense? Wait, that can't be right. And your attack would be, let's say you get 2,500. Does that mean you triple your attack so it's like 7,500? I don't know. This is weird. This is one we're gonna have to really heavily test. And are you attack scale? You're definitely attack scaling.
Frenzied Strike. Consumes 100 fighting spirit to inflict trauma on the caster for 3 turns, before attacking all enemies, dispelling all buffs, and decreasing combat readiness by 50%.
This is very interesting though.
Ignores effect resistance. Trauma decreases defense by 70%, but increases attack and speed by 100%.
That's crazy.
If the defense prior to the effect of trauma is 2,000 or higher, his stat...
Wait, defense is prior to the effect of trauma is 2,000 or higher. Like, well... hold on. I see. If they drop your defense by like a defense break type of thing, then you won't be able to proc it. But it's basically saying as long as you have 2,000 or more defense in your actual base stats, and you don't get hit by a death break, when you use this ability, you'll proc basically. Or if you have, let's say, 1,500 or 1,600 defense, and you have a defense buff, and you actually allows you to do this then.
That increase effects are doubled. When the caster's defense exceeds 2,000 through buffs,
Oh, wait.
such as increased defense or vigor,
Does that count?
the additional stat increase effects of trauma are applied when using skill
Okay,
3.
I was right. So that means
This is a unique effect and is unaffected by turn duration reductions and cannot be dispelled, duplicated, or stolen.
Oh, it hits everyone.
Skill 1 actions and cannot be dispelled, duplicated, or stolen.
So 5,000. And she's, I mean, I don't know, she might be healing off of her actual, off of an artifact or something. Wait, no, because what was her health at? 1,400. Oh, she might have got
By
minus
turn
two.
duration
Makes
reductions and cannot be dispelled,
sense.
duplicated,
She's
or
built-in
stolen.
counter, so.
Skill 1, Dragon's Breath.
Alright, attacks all, and oh wait, S1 attacks everyone with Dragon's Breath with 45% chance to decrease attack for 1 turn. Damage dealt increases proportion to the caster's defense. Okay, so she is definitely a defense scaling unit. When the caster is granted a trauma, activates Unbridled Outburst instead of Dragon's Breath. So, blah blah. Attacks the enemy with Massive Blade. Penetrates the target's defense by 70%. Oh, I see. So that's actually really interesting. So basically, she is a defense scaling unit, and attacks all enemies does not specify that it has to be on her turn. So her counters actually she will counter AOE, and then if she has trauma, I think it switches from because it looks like does attack everyone. So she's AOE on her S1. But when she has trauma, it switches. Wait, so she's AoE with a defense scaling S1. But when she has trauma, it switches from an AoE to a single target that is based off of attack. Because obviously you doubled or tripled your attack. Okay. And then you also penetrate target's defense. I'm assuming Unbridled counts for one enemy.
Attacks all enemies with Dragon's Breath, with up to a 60% chance to decrease attack for 1 turn. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's defense. When the caster is inflicted with trauma, activates Unbridled Outburst instead of Dragon's Breath. Unbridled Outburst attacks an enemy with a massive blade. It penetrates the target's defense by 70%. When 10 soul is consumed, increases damage dealt.
Yeah, holy crap.
I hate the darkness.
A dragon who struggles with her split personality.
That's a
Players will be able to meet Abyssal Yufine through the Mystic Summon starting October 26th. Thank you.
Okay. Now this one definitely seems like it'll be a unit you can pull out in RTA and actually be very scary. So she has built-in counter. The artifact you probably use on her, Elbrus. I hate to say it because it's everyone in the game uses Elbrus. Every night in the game is Elbrus for this. But you can definitely use Elbrus on her. And in fact, it'd be very scary because she's basically a defense scaling with a more personality Bellion. Which honestly you could put her on injury then, actually. You could put her on injury. You could put her on defense scaling injury. Because she comes with counter. You can give her Elbrus. Oh, actually, yeah, wait a minute. Injury on her would be kind of crazy. Because her S3 and her S1 on when you're not traumatized are both AoE. And she has built-in counter, and you could give her Elbrus so that you can have, all those counter rates plus plus you can go for injury set. So she's even better than Bellion, because when you put Bellion on injury, the issue with Bellion is the problem with Bellion on injury, it's if they know you're on injury, they're just going to go, okay, well, I can just keep attacking you and I'm safe because I know obviously you're on Elbrus. That's why it's I don't like picking injury unit to put an injury on a knight like that, because once they figure out you're an injury, they're just keep focusing you all the time, and you're never going to be able to, and you're just Bellion to be sitting there and die. But Yufine could be on injury and it'll work because she has built-in counter. You can give her Elbrus, and then you can give her injury, and then it'll work. And just as long as you can have defense scaling in it with some attack and some crit rate. Oh man, it's gonna be. I don't know how you're supposed to fully. Her speed isn't terrible too, actually. I mean, it's bad, but for a knight, it's not that bad. I'm trying to figure out how you would build. You definitely want to build it with over 2,000 defense because you, other than the fact that your defense scaling on your S1 and S3. I don't know if your S3. Wait, was your S3 defense scaling? I know your S1 when you don't on trauma is defense scaling. Okay, I know. Oh wait, before attack all enemies. Okay, yeah. So no, your S3 is not because you're already swapping into trauma when you use your S3. So the only thing that's defense scaling is your S1. So basically, you don't want to have crazy defense. So it's not like she's a defense scaling unit where, like, let's say Lionheart Thermia. Like Lionheart Thermia, it's like you kind of want a bit more than 2k defense if you want to go for the damage side, or Dilibet, you kind of want to go higher than 2k defense if you want to go for like a higher damage build. This one, you just want to hit that 2k defense and you're set. You just hit 2,000 defense, put a decent amount in bulk, in HP, obviously get 100% crit rate and some crit damage, and then put the rest in attack and maybe some speed. Like, because... Like, I say you probably want to aim for, like, 2,000 defense. Try to aim for 2k attack if you can without dropping other stats. 16 to 20k HP. Your speed is whatever. I wouldn't say 175 plus. And obviously 100% crit rate. And preferably at least 250 crit damage. As far as the set goes, you have built-in counter. But it doesn't mean you can't use counter on top of it just to have even better chance. So you could do like counter set on top of her built-in counter with Elbrus. You have a high chance at S1, kind of like when people kept using Green Armin. Or I was like I said, injury works pretty good on her too. You can go speed set too, actually, if you really want to. Or you can go destruction set, which honestly I probably go destruction set because I can actually, it's much easier to like get the stat line I want, and I do nothing. I pretty much farm nothing but Banshee anyways. I don't really farm. I don't farm KDs. I don't farm KDs. I don't farm Wyvern anymore. I just farm Banshee and just get life steals and destruction sets basically. Oh, actually, life steal would be very good on her too. But dropping 70% of your defense, though. But I can definitely see speed set, though, because I completely forgot. If you Trauma gives you, like, up to 200% speed as well. How does that work, though? So you have 200 speed, and you have, 2k attack, or 2k defense, and you use it, so you get to 200%. Does that literally triple your speed and make you a 600 speed? That'd be crazy, though. So you begin like 2 turns before all the other units get one. Like, oh, you thought your 300 speed Ran or Lilius is fast, but this 600 speed Yufine. I really like her kit. She's definitely gonna need some testing, and I'm definitely gonna go for trying to pull for her for sure. I may even do a video for it too if I'm able to like, get some mystics and stuff. I will definitely do a video, and I will definitely pull for her. I mean, we have 2 weeks though, so, and I'm also gonna see if I can start setting up what Aquarius needs, how much I can get the Callus ready too. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun unit. But I'll see you guys in the next video.